So you know, I do these videos totally unscripted. That's why there are a lot of mistakes. Some I edit out, some I don't. Some I leave in there so I can make fun of myself. Today, I'd like to cover two subjects. One is the PVC pipe that I mentioned earlier that I use. The other one is making a compost tea maker. Mine is brewed. Will be brewed instead of... okay, here we go. There's one of those mistakes already. Brewed instead of steeped. The difference between steeped and brewed is you use like air pump, air stones to aerate the tea as it's brewing, and steeping is just simply turning it every once in a while and adding a little aeration to the water. They both work just as well, but I'm trying to speed the process up a little bit using the air pump and the air stone. Okay, first, the type of PVC I was using was white. It was 4 inches, very heavy wall. I think it's Schedule 80. You don't really need that heavy of a wall. I mean, the plants are, the weed whacker, any tool that you may hit the PVC with, you're not going to break through it. So I went with an alternate. It's a little slightly thinner wall here. And actually, I think this is either PVC with a ABS core, or it's all ABS. I'm not totally sure, but these are perforated pipes. The holes are every 3 inches, and I'm going to start using this. It's a lot cheaper than the other PVC. With the price of petroleum going up, you got to look for cheaper means. You don't want to put a lot of money. And again, taping. We have jets going overhead and all types of noise here. I just can't win. Anyway, there are 2 sets of holes here on one side and solid on the other, so I would have to make sure that I put these 2 holes to wherever I plan to side dress the plants. Because the whole idea behind now getting the ones with the holes in it so I can side dress, and the roots will come out through there looking for the nutrients, or the nutrients can just work their way in through the holes. I can't remember the word I'm trying to use. Anyway, so that's the one thing. Now, the other thing is the materials I'm going to need for my tea brewer, my compost tea brewer. This is an air pump, kind of funny looking. You'll see it's a Tetra. It's made by Tetra. It sort of almost looks like a turtle. I don't know how to explain it. But it's got two air outlets. And the design of it really lends itself well to what I'm doing, because I'm going to leave the pump outside. This shell here should deflect the water, and it'll never get into the pump and mess up the pump. And being I have 2 outlets, I got 2 air stones. Okay, and this way I get plenty of air in my brew, although that may be a little overkill. 25 foot of tubing. Now, all of this, the pump cost me $21.29, I believe. These 2 air stones were $7 total, and the tubing, the 25 foot of tubing, is only $2.47. So that's pretty inexpensive. It's a pretty inexpensive way to get started with this. I've seen these on videos and everything else. It seems to work very well, so we're going to give it a try. The most important part of this whole project is a good sized tub, because the size of my air stones, they wouldn't fit in a 5-gallon pail. You want them laying on the bottom where all your compost is going to be. So I've showed you this in a different video, I believe. It's just a 55-gallon drum. It's only 2/3 of a 55-gallon drum, so it's shallow, which will make it easier to work with. You don't need a cover. You want to keep an eye on it while it's brewing. In, I think it's 3 days to a week, you'll get a foam on top of your compost tea, and that's usually an indication it's ready. If it smells really bad, something's gone wrong. It should smell sort of nice, just a little earthy. If there's not enough aeration, you will get a really nasty smell, from what I understand. Okay, here it is. Here's the tub. We're going to work it here. Not sure where I'm putting the pump. I have an overhang by the house. This is an area out of the sun. In fact, very rarely gets sun except in very late summer. so to be protected from that, I do have a downspout here, which I'm probably going to later on redirect to collect rainwater in a rainwater catching system, but that's later on in another video. So we're going to start now, and I'll see if I can demonstrate how this should be put together. Okay, I've cut my 25-foot hose at 12.5 each. Cut it in half because I'm not sure where I'm putting the pump. And now we attach those to our air stones. Very simple. Take the air stones, lay them in the bottom of the tub. And that's a very easy beginning. And here they are inside the dirty, the dirty tub. Well, it's going to have dirt in it anyway, so what's the difference? And we have our air stones in place. We'll hook up the pump, and then we'll throw a bunch of compost on there, start to fill with water, and then we'll turn the pump on and see what happens. Alright, I seem to have had a moment of genius. Instead of dumping the compost over the stones, which have tiny little holes to let the air out, and clogging them, I decided to first fill it with water and give it a bubble test. Not as much air as I thought I was going to get out of the stones, but I'm sure that's plenty for what we need. So in a few seconds I'll be adding our more water, and then I'll be adding the compost. Okay, during that moment of genius I mentioned before, I didn't even stop to think that this drum may have holes in it. But I was very lucky. It is not leaking. This is the one drum I guess I saved. And as you can see, it's bubbling away fine. My air stones are working. And it might be a good idea to put your pump higher than the drum, because if you have a power outage, or for some reason somebody turns a switch off or unplugs the plug, all that nice tea will back up into your pump and destroy it, or at least mess it up a bit. So anyway, here we go, and I'm going to add the compost in a second. I'm not sure what the ratio is. I've watched so many videos on this compost tea. Nobody actually gives you the exact ratio, but I'm just going to go by eye and see how it looks. So here we go. I'm just going to mount the camera again, and you can watch me putting in scoops, and I'll count them as I go so I don't forget later.